Welcome back to the Tarantula Collective. My name is Richard, and this is 2 videos in one day, so you should be pretty excited. I uploaded a video last night. It doesn't have anything to do with this video, so I didn't want to put them together in one video. If you haven't seen that one, I'll link it at the end of this video. It's about a tarantula giveaway and fundraiser that's going on right now. Hopefully you can be a part of that. But this video is a little bit different. As you can see, where I'm standing right now is where my office used to be, I guess. Like I have my computer desk over here. I had, just the cameras and lights and everything set up, but I've switched. So I moved my kid over here. He's got his TV and Xbox back there. He's got all of his Nerf guns and stuff behind me. And this is like back to where I was originally. So I kind of feel like a crazy person, but it's a mess over here. So I don't want to show you too much, but I did just want to give you a quick update and show you one more thing real fast. So what I've done is I just moved all of the enclosures around, kind of reorganized everything, set up the backdrop since I'm going to be shooting from a different angle. So I wanted everything to kind of be nice and symmetrical. So I got that all set up. I got a lot of my tarantula cribs enclosures over here and spinning around, trying to keep the mess out. Back there is my computer desk. I don't know if you can see it very well, but yeah, it's back there. And then over here, don't mind all the lights, this is where I've got all of my reptiles. So we've got the king snake there, ball pythons back there. I don't want to show you its enclosure yet because I still haven't released a video on it. There's the the dart frogs, the poison dart frogs. Above that is another enclosure that we'll be having a video coming out any day, probably be Friday. It'll be coming out. It's on building arboreal do-it-yourself background. This is the Trinidad olive communal. A lot of people have been asking how they're doing. They're doing really well, actually. As you can see, you never really see them that much, but they're in there. There's a whole bunch of webbing all over the place. They're really making themselves at home. I got it, and let's see, that's the Imbalfori communal down there that we did earlier in the month. And I haven't shown you this one yet, so don't pretend like you didn't see that enclosure. But what I want to show you today, not just my whole new layout of the basement, and I'm going to fix that. We're going to put a blind or something to cover that window because you can't see out of it, and it just puts in light, screws up all my cameras. So we'll fix that later. I fixed the one over there, but that's neither here nor there. But my friend Elliot from Cobweb Castles has launched his Kickstarter, and it's like in the last week. I think it's got like 5 days left. So I wanted to show you all the Cobweb Castles spider keep enclosure that he sent me, so you know if you're going to get in on that Kickstarter what it's going to look like. So let's get to the table over here and check it out. So this is the Cobweb Castle. It is an enclosure for true spiders, specifically the southern house spider, but it will also work really well for black widows, and there may be some other North American or Central American true spiders that would do pretty well in it. But I can't think of any other species off the top of my head, just the southern house spider and the black widow. Now, he launched his Kickstarter about 3 weeks ago. Clint's Reptiles made a video on it. There's some other YouTubers that have covered this enclosure as well. So I'm not going to go too deep in depth as they have already done that. But I do have a southern house spider in here, and it's working out really well. The nice things about this enclosure, one, it's escape proof. It's made of wood, and it has an acrylic or plexiglass front. Now this front is removable. You can lift it right out of there, which is nice. And the southern house spider prefers to stay inside of its little crack or crevice. That's why this enclosure in particular was made for that specific species. So once it's set up its webbing and it's made its home in there, you can even leave this off because it's not really going to go past its webbing, but I mean, it's probably still a good idea to leave the door closed. But in nature, the southern house spider, kind of like black widows, likes crevices and holes and cracks, places where it can retreat. And it will make webbing all around the front of that to ensnare prey, but spends 90% of its time hidden back in that hole. This is an idea very similar to like an ant farm. You get the little ant farm enclosure and you can capture some ants outside or order some online, and it gives you the ability to see the hidden behind the scenes behavior of ants. The spider keep enclosure is very similar. Since most of its life is spent hidden in the holes, cracks, and crevices, this enclosure gives you the ability to see behind the scenes. And the back of the enclosure is solid black. It's a piece of plastic that, is light proof, but you can pull it off, slides right out, and exposes this little plastic bubble. Inside there is where the spider spends most of its time. It's where it will make its egg sac, it's where it eats, and it's easily viewable, but it also has this do not disturb type door, so you don't have to worry about bothering it. And once you're done observing, you can slide that right back in. Now, the behavior of this particular spider, usually it'll eat its food, it wraps it up, sucks out what it wants, and then it will just kind of throw the prey out of its little hole. So in this enclosure, it all will kind of congregate at the bottom. And then all you have to do is remove the front door, and there's a little cleaning tray down here. You can just slide that right out, throw away any leftover food or boluses. Makes cleaning really easy. Now, I had a long conversation with Elliot, the owner of Cobweb Castles, when I was in Virginia Beach at the Tarantula Collective meetup that Fear Not Tarantulas. We recorded a podcast with him and a few other people that were there, and I will link that at the end of this video if you want to check it out. But he explained where he got the idea for this enclosure, what it is he's trying to accomplish, and it is important to note that this is mainly just for true spiders. I can't think of any tarantulas that would do well in this type of enclosure, but it definitely was not made for tarantulas. The southern house spider is prolific. It's all over the southern United States, Central America, and South America, to the point that a lot of people consider them a pest. So this is a great enclosure for any kind of classrooms, or maybe you have a child that you want to introduce to arachnology, or just someone that wants to learn about spider behavior. This enclosure gives you that ability to capture one of these spiders out in nature or order one from a dealer and be able to house it and feed it in a very safe enclosure that gives you the ability to see their behavior behind the scenes. I really enjoy this enclosure. I had a lot of fun. I didn't even think I wanted a southern house spider until I got this one, but its behavior is fascinating and it's just a beautiful spider. Now, with the enclosure he sent me, I also got the little field guide pack. I'm not exactly sure what he calls it, but it comes with this nice little magnifying glass, some tweezers, and a little Cobweb Castle journal and ink pen. So you can keep notes on when you feed it, when it molts, if it makes an egg sac, you know, all that kind of information. But his Kickstarter is down to its last 5 days. I believe it ends October 17th. So if you want to get in on this, I will leave a link down below in the description. I'll also pin it to the top of the comment section underneath this video. But this is definitely an interesting project, an interesting enclosure. And if you like keeping black widows or southern house spiders or, you know, any other true spider that would fit in this enclosure, then I highly suggest you at least check it out. So a huge thanks to Elliot from Cobweb Castles for sending me this spider keep enclosure. And if you didn't see the video I uploaded last night, I will link it here at the end of this video. It has all the information on the fundraiser that I'm doing for Harmony House Children's Advocacy Center, as well as all the amazing prizes that are going to be given away to people that donate or comment, or, you know, all that information's in that video. But when I recorded that video, I had set the goal to the amount we were able to raise last year in this fundraiser, which was $1,250. And as of recording this video, we've already blown past that. So it hasn't even been 24 hours and we are over $1,800 so far. And there's still like 2 weeks to go. So not only are we raising a lot of money for this amazing nonprofit, but some other vendors have reached out with some cool prizes. Simply Spiders has donated a $200 mystery box of tarantulas to be given away. And Brandon from Arachnid Rarities has donated 2 different prizes. I'm gonna read them off here. The first package has the Barupes sigomagorum, Samorix sigorum, there we go, and a Pamphobetus species Mongenegra. Now the second package that he donated has a dwarf pack, it looks like. He's got 5 dwarf tarantulas. So there's a Seriacosmus ori, Seriacosmus litzi, Davus pentaloris, Hapalopus species large Columbia, and the Nichinoculus species Panama. Looks like he's also thrown in a Grammostola pulchra into that pack. So that's 2 different packages going to 2 different winners. And I believe there's some other emails and messages I've got from other dealers. I just don't have them right in front of me while I'm recording this video. But needless to say, there's a lot of prizes that are gonna be given away, and not just tarantulas. Now, unfortunately, the live tarantulas or isopods or anything that's alive can only be shipped to winners in the United States. But if you're outside of the US and you wanna get involved, there's artwork, there's supplies, there's Tarantula Collective merchandise, there's all kinds of stuff that can be shipped internationally. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out Cobweb Castle's Kickstarter, and don't forget to watch the video I uploaded last night about the giveaway, because I think you're gonna be really excited. As always, I appreciate you watching. Subscribe if you wanna see more. Support your local bug dealer, and I will see you next Tuesday.